A few weeks back, I had a wedding project to edit, and it had over 8 hours of footage and audio tracks with multiple cameras and multiple audio sources. Before starting, I searched the internet for the best audio syncing software, and I came across Syncaila. Syncaila was built to sync large projects with multiple footage from different cameras without a timecode. So you can see that you have to export an XML file from your editing program, and you import it into Syncaila. And then after clicking the synchronize button in Syncaila, you export the XML from Syncaila and import it back into your own editing program. As you can see, Syncaila supports Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, Sony Vegas, as well as other common video editing softwares. So the reason I think Syncaila is such a good software is because it was actually developed by a video creator. Syncaila offers a free version for syncing 20 or less video clips for simple video editing tasks, and a free 20-day fully functional trial to test out the entirety of the software. So here you can see the different purchase options for licenses. You have full, Sync 3, season, and free. I myself would prefer the full version. Now let's dive into DaVinci Resolve here. And then all you have to do is put them on separate tracks, like I'm doing here. And I actually had audio from the reception microphone and the ceremony microphones, as well as the groom microphones. So now that we have all of the audio tracks in DaVinci in this timeline, we are going to export as an XML file to import into Syncaila. So here I'm going to export my XML timeline from DaVinci into Syncaila. And when exporting from DaVinci, you will want to select the FCP7 XML, which is Final Cut Pro 7 XML files. So when you first open the software, you are presented with this display. There are three main buttons: the import button, the synchronize, and export. So I actually used all original files for the sync with nothing being transcoded. So here I am importing my XML file unsynced from DaVinci. Instead of waiting for Syncaila to finish reading all the files, you can actually press the synchronize button immediately, and the entire process will go faster because the software runs these two operations as parallel tasks. So essentially this helps to speed up the entire process of loading files and synchronizing them as well. Now, I know that some softwares have built-in sync functions like Premiere Pro, but having had experience with Premiere Pro syncing and now Syncaila, hands down I prefer the automatic synchronization of Syncaila, as it's at a totally different level in terms of synchronization, which it should be since that is its main function. So I actually used all original files for the sync with nothing being transcoded. Syncaila even uses extra metadata information from the clips to give you better results. And as you can see, we're going to fast forward a little bit to let it synchronize. So now Syncaila is finalizing the sync. You can see all in all it took 3 minutes and 37 seconds to export and sync over 8 hours of footage, which would take you multiple hours if you were doing that manually. And everything looks pretty good. You pretty much have your entire day synced. It's amazing. And there are other options as well, more advanced settings. So you can choose different search accuracies: utmost, optimal, medium. You can also change the speed and chronology of the clips. Plus it allows different export options, such as differentiating between synced or unsynced clips, and exporting XML files for pretty much any video editing software. Before testing out Syncaila, I was actually leaning towards Pluralize as another syncing software, but currently they are ending support for their software. So I am not going to stick with a company that ends support and ends upgrades. In addition, Pluralize puts all of their unsynced clips at the very end of the timeline, whereas Syncaila actually smartly auto-detects where to put your unsynchronized clips. So technically you don't have any unsynchronized clips at all using Syncaila. So ultimately, why am I sticking with Syncaila? Well, first off, it has incredibly accurate auto-syncing quality. It performs the sync with very quick speeds, and the stability of the software is unmatched. And as I mentioned earlier, I love the fact that Syncaila doesn't put your unsynchronized clips at the very end of the footage. Instead, it automatically smartly detects where it should be in the video. I was actually very surprised because it even synchronized clips without any audio or with very minimal audio just off the timestamps from the video. So from now on, I'll definitely be using Syncaila as a way to improve my workflow and become a much more efficient video editor. So if you're interested in trying out Syncaila, go check it out. Their website's link is in my description. Until next time.